Good morning, fam bam. How are you all doing? I wanted to come on here. Hi, Rachel. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. I hope that you can make our next Activate Shakti. Hope that things are going well. Hello, if you're just joining, we're going to be talking about remembering. Okay, so I use this way with the word that I don't think is quite understood by a lot of you, and some of you it is. So this idea that everything out there is in here, right? And for us to remember is to literally bring that sensation back in that we lost, that we felt like we had to divorce from, that we felt like we had to leave behind in order to survive. And this is through the projections and the conditioning of our society, of our upbringing. And this remembering is literally like if you've ever heard like dismemberment, like, hello, this disconnection, this disassociation. When we remember, we go in and we do the somatic work that we need to do to literally be in that energy in a new way, to bring back the initial energy. And for those of you that did the divine alchemy work with me, you know that I talk about we are all born with a crown. We are all born with an aura. We are all born with a connection to source. And it's only through our interactions on planet Earth. Hi, Anna. Hi, Amanda. It's only through these interactions on planet Earth that we get disconnected and dismembered from our remembering of who we truly are. And this is the work that I came here to share with you all through my own journey. And so one of the main things about crown codes that I want to share with you is if you are ready to step into the next level, you know that it's somewhere in there, right? It's somewhere in there, and you just need to remember and make it a bigger part of your life so that you can show up in your gifts in the world in a bigger way, more solid, more strong, more prosperous, because we all deserve to be prosperous, right? You want to flourish. You want this confidence and clarity in your mission. And you know that the only way for you to feel successful on planet Earth is if you are deeply connected to that mission-driven life. And a great start to this that you can just start doing right now today is to ask yourself moment to moment in your day, is this activity feeding my mission-driven life, or is it depleting? And many times what we'll find is that we're consistently making choices that are depleting us from our mission-driven life, from our crown, because that's what we're used to. And anything that we're used to, we're neurologically set up for those familiar pathways. And so crown codes is about breaking through that resistance, breaking through that stagnation, that clearing the crown of all the junk of other people in our lives, and really being in a group container for 6 weeks where we're literally remembering together. This is a collaborative energy. It's a co-creative energy. It is not me as boss, that I've done all my work. It's that we're doing the work together. And this has come through as a really strong initiation that I've had. And I want to talk about initiations really quickly and share another activity that you can do to really get to your remembering of who you truly are and your crown energy, because it looks different for everyone. It's not to say that everyone is supposed to be out there like really loud and proud Leo energy. I have the Leo energy. Your flavor of being confident and being in your center can look, and I've had several clients who have a very different way of their clarity, their confidence showing up in the world. It doesn't have to look the same, and it's even better if it doesn't, because we all have something unique to bring. So this awakened awareness that we're naturally all coming to with the transits of this month, next month, and June are a really powerful time for you to initiate into this energy. So I'm doing a special offer. I'll talk about the ways of going through these initiations on your own. But first I want to say that until April 19th, I am including a one-on-one coaching session with me when you register for Crown Code. So not only will you get the 6 weeks group journey with me, but you'll also get a one-on-one to deep dive into what's holding you back from really showing up bigger in your work, what's holding you back from kind of being in your crown energy around your work in the world and your mission-driven life. And so we're going to kind of break through all of that and bring in this Crown Code energy to your life. So if you want to get that one-on-one with me, all you need to do is register before April 19th, and you'll just naturally get that included. That will be scheduled out. Your one-on-one with me will be scheduled out throughout May or June. So that's happening. Okay, let's talk about initiations because they're so powerful, and oftentimes in our culture, one thing that we're lacking, in a big way is initiation. And it's something that all older, Celtic and all over the world knew that was important. And of course, not that they did it perfectly, because some of those initiations rituals were not healthy, but one thing that we knew we needed as humans to kind of move forward and be in the human, because the human is both the mammal and the spiritual crown, the way that we are upright and erect has a unique way of we're able to hold our crown differently, right? And so to be in that energy, the one thing that separates humans from other mammals is this initiation energy. It's this moving up. It's this self-actualization energy. And because so much of our culture is still stuck in the mammal energy, the lower chakra energy, even if we are upright, kind of we hunch over, we're collapsing, we're not holding our crowns up, is that there's no initiation. So I'm going to talk to you from a very personal level of telling you, because this is the only way of how I can explain it to you. And then something that we're going to dive in a bigger way in this group journey is dissecting these initiations in your life to really get the goal, to really be able to wear these initiations as these crown jewels that they are, instead of when we haven't embodied them, when we haven't fully remembered our power through them, they can end up being like rocks that we carry around that hunch us over even more, because we've been taught to disconnect, disassociate, or be shamed for our initiations, right? That it's something that's wrong with us because we went through what we went through, or we might not have been manifesting correctly to go through these, and that's all BS. The reality is each one of these growth periods that we go through, this capacity to remember more, not that we always get there because we're not able to fully integrate, rest, regenerate, and integrate our experience. But if we are given that opportunity, we are given the full opportunity to remember our power and our place and our sacredness and the way that we have so many gifts and what our gifts are to serve and to offer to others. So I'm just going to talk about a few initiations that might not look like initiations if you didn't understand them, right? So I'll talk about a few of mine, and then you can start to think and process and be with any initiations that you've experienced, because it's made you who you are today. So one of the main ones that seemed like not a big deal at the time, but was massive for me, was when I was 14 to 15 and I divorced the Catholic Church, okay? There's nothing inherently wrong with the Catholic Church, but it wasn't for me. And everyone was going through confirmation, and I literally just was like, I'm done. This is not for me. And all of my friends were like, oh my gosh, like you're not going to be able to get married in a Catholic church. And like to them, this was like, this was massive. Like it was a big deal. And I was, it was like I was being shunned by like the standards of, I grew up, it's different wherever you live, but I was in upstate New York, and it was like, it was a big taboo thing that I did. And that initiation was a huge part of me breaking free from what didn't feel true to me, and really being able to wear that in my crown. I knew that I was never going to put myself in situations where I totally didn't belong. It wasn't aligned. And so that was a huge graduation for me. Another one was going through the divorce that I went through in 2017, which felt like a horrible experience at the time, right? It felt like I was causing unnecessary pain to another human. It felt like, why couldn't I just be happy or satisfied with the life that I had? I mean, there was a lot of like the societal conditioning clogging up what I was really stepping into. But eventually, and I think I won't speak for him, but eventually for me, what I could see was that I was married so young, and I really needed the space and the ability to remember more of who I truly was through that experience. So that initiation was massive, and me sharing my work in a bigger way and taking up more space and having the space to really dive into my work in a bigger way. So these initiations oftentimes won't look like something that our society typically celebrates, like breaking away from what's popular, breaking away from something that seems like it's the only way to be. And, there's many other initiations I had. Another massive one for me was in 2005, when for my first baby, I chose to have a home birth when I didn't know anybody except for outside of a neighbor. I talk about this in the podcast interview that I just did. I didn't know anybody like in my family, in my friend group. I didn't know anybody personally and closely that had made that choice. And here I was at 24 making this choice that everyone thought I was crazy in my family. Like, it was like a big deal. And it was that was probably the biggest empowerment initiation that I had. And not to say, however you do you, it's your journey. But for me, that was huge, and trusting myself and trusting my intuition. And so these things, like at the time, they're going to feel uncomfortable. They're going to feel sometimes even painful, sometimes even isolating. But these are your initiations. They are what make your crown sparkly and shiny in its own unique way. It's what flavors it. It's the gems that you choose to have in there that you chose before you even came into the physical. And this is where our crown codes and our lessons and our journey is so interwoven into our birth chart and our astrology. But our birth chart is just a map to get to that. If you already got it, you don't even need the birth chart, right? So this journey is not an astrological journey. The Crown Codes, the 6-week journey with me, is an energetic journey. And I was just listening to, I don't know if I'm going to get her name right. She's a coach in the coaching world, Katrina Ruth. And she was like, people don't buy your program, they buy your energy. And I was just like, oh my God, totally. And this is why the energetic alignment work, especially for your business, but also, for your health, for your well-being, all the things, is so vital. Because when people are drawn to your energy, then they're going to be wanting what you have to offer to the world. And this is so big because when you have that mission-driven life, you want to help more people and you want to share your work with more people. So by being more visible, by being in your unique energy with your crown, people are going to hear, want, and be in the reciprocal energy. You being in your pure energy helps others remember their pure energy. And this is what Crown Codes is all about. I'm so excited. So if you want to get that special offer of the one-on-one with me, definitely register by April 19th. The link is in my profile, and I am going to post this on a page where there'll be a buy now button. So if you're on that page, there's a buy now button below. And I hope to see you there. We'll be going from May 4th to 6 weeks later on Wednesdays. And lastly, this is a live journey with me. And so I can't guarantee that this will continue to be a live journey with me. So if you want to get in on that live action, definitely register now. I think this will probably be a go at your own pace course for the remainder, and we'll see if I run it again. But if you want to get on those live vibes and you really want to step into your remembering of who you truly are, this is the place to do it. If you're just catching part of this, you want to go back and listen to the beginning to get those little tidbits of ways that you can work with this energy starting now, starting in this moment. So you were born with a crown. through our experience on planet Earth, through a lot of unconscious different ways, our energy is pulled from us and things are put on us, and projections and conditioning and getting us away from, it's literally like accumulating crap on our crown. Like we're literally walking around with other people's shit in our crown. And in order to stand proud and stand firm in who you truly are, we have to remember and somatically bring in the experiences that are going to help us remember that and help us to clear away all the cobwebs, all the shit that we're carrying around our crown that is not serving us. So if you're ready to dive into that work with me, check out the link in my profile, and I hope you have a gorgeous day. Take good care of yourselves.